Welcome back to the broadcast. This is Front and Center. Our focus is on the electoral body, IEBC, even as they battle in court at the Supreme Court over allegations they bungled the 2022 elections. Is the IEBC a poisoned chalice? There seems to be this perennial perception crisis. That is what we're focusing on. And today, as the respondents are making their submissions before the 7-judge bench, let's listen to what Gideon Muigai had to say about the fact that the other 5 electoral offices seem to be fine in terms of the credibility of the election. He said that there are governors and senators who are lawyers making their submissions before the Supreme Court. Let's listen in.
You have been addressed by counsel of great eminence, including my learned senior James Orengo, my learned junior Professor Tom Ojienda. In this court, my lords, as we sit here this morning, there are no less than 3 governors addressing you elected under this election. There are no less than 4 senators elected under this election. And there are no less than 4 members of parliament elected under this election. When, my lords, it is not in my place to suggest the questions you should put to counsel, but I would plead with you to put that question to counsel when they return to the podium. Are they happy with their own election? If they are, how then is it that this election is irredeemably flawed?
All right, that is Chebukati and IEBC's lead counsel, Professor Gideon Muigai. Let me come to you, Martin. What is your take on the fact that that was thrown the way of the petitioners, that the other 5 electoral offices seem to be fine? It's only the presidential election where the seeming losers seem to be, making a case. What do you say to that?
Ben Gitili, we are dealing with oranges and apples here. The issue about our elections is that we conduct 6 elections on one day. And the Constitution mandates resolution of presidential. Anybody is happy is to assume that we have exhausted the 28 days in which other petitions are supposed to be lodged. We don't know what others are complaining about. We have no idea what other petitions are going to come about. So to say that we are all happy or everybody else is happy is to presuppose that the 28 days that they have been given to file petitions has lapsed, is to presuppose that we know that there is no any other issue out there and that there are not likely to be any petitions, when the timelines for petitions in other positions is a 6 months petition, a 6 months period with 28 days after the announcement for anyone who is dissatisfied to lodge. So we cannot bring issues of apples when we are dealing with oranges.
All right, thanks
the
much.
question that we are dealing with is arising out of Article 140, which is a question about the validity of the presidential election. It cannot be about governors. It cannot be about other positions. So anybody bringing that argument is actually trying to dissuade us.
Thanks, Martin. Away from that, and we are now joined by lawyer and political strategist Kipchumba Karori. Kipchumba, thank you for making it finally. Away from what's happening at the Supreme Court, there seems to be this perennial crisis at the IEBC. Is it by design or by default from where you sit?
I think, thank you, Ben, and sorry for coming late. I think there is a problem, Ben, not with the IEBC, because we have not seen people demonstrate in this town that MCA results, we do not accept those results. We have not seen the same about MPs. Actually, funny enough, the people who are saying IEBC is irredeemably, the election conducted by IEBC was irredeemably flawed, are people who are just sworn in the other day. Even the grass has not started coming back to its normalcy since the swearing-in ceremonies happened. Look at even the battery of lawyers there. Some of these people are elected, but they don't say our election was marred by problems. When it comes to the presidency is where they draw the line.
Martin says that is apples and oranges.
It's not apple and oranges, because at the end of the day, you cannot develop a dichotomy between the presidential election and the other elections, because the IBC that carried out this election is the same IBC, Ben Kitili. For example, when we do the total ballots that were in this election is 85 million ballots. And when you narrow down to even the issues of stray ballots, rejected ballots, and spoiled ballots, all of them, you come to a conclusion that this election, were it to be on precision, is around 99.2. You see, so at the end of the day, this excuse that we want to create that this election was not done to standard, this was not done to standard, at the end of the day, we need to ask ourselves, Ben Kitili, Kenyan elections is not about delivering Raila to presidency. It is about achieving Article 1 and Article 38 of the Constitution. But if we ring fence our elections to one man gaining power, we lose the whole point, because we can't, for example, vilify IBC for the presidential election and celebrate IBC when Azimio win a seat in Mombasa and Kakamega. At the end of the day, we have to know that, for example, IBC is not Chebukati and the 7 commissioners. IBC is all the way from the presiding officer in a polling station in Mambru in Kilifi County, all the way to one in Turkana County. So at the end of the day, the problem comes in when we want to segment IBC for purposes of blaming people. When we were in this panel, my final point, we said there will be a problem. Azimio used to do 6 rallies in a day. William Ruto used to do 18. The chicken are home to roost. Don't blame Chebukati.
All right, all right.